Hi, my name is Michelle, the reader, also known as Natural Born Witch on eBay and other sites. I'm a metaphysical practitioner, psychic, intuitive, and tarot card reader. So today we have a really special reading. I'm doing a reading on Prince, the singer from Minneapolis. Um, yeah, I think he's willing to talk. He's coming forward. I've spoken to him other times. Sometimes a little bit more quiet and stuff like that. So I was a little bit nervous, a little bit wondering, should I read? How much are we gonna get out of there? So hopefully, he seems to be pretty communicative right now. Mm. So hopefully, we get a lot out of him. Um, and got my little shrine to him, and wear my purple. But we got his pictures there. We got the "Let's Go Crazy" part of the lyrics. Which was kind of prophetic when he died. He died in the elevator in his um, Paisley Park mansion. And we got purple and yeah, just different stuff there. So anyhow, there's a few things he did want me to speak about, but we're going to first start with um, his overall energy coming forth. I told him, I do want to speak about dark Hollywood, about things going on, things that he knew about, things that he did try to warn people about through the many years on different, he used to talk about chemtrails. He talked about, feeling like a slave with these music contracts and different stuff that went on. And even his comedian friend there, Cat Williams, who were him and they were good friends, So Cat knew things, obviously, what was going on with Diddy and the rest of them. So of course, Prince did too. They both knew. But Prince never partaked in any of that stuff. He might have went to a party here and there, which I don't even know if he really did that. But the energy coming through right now, like immediately with him, when I ask him about, and sorry again with this throat thing. It's almost gone, but still a little bit there. Um, so comes through talking about um, he talks a lot about like the ending days, his final days. I kept trying to ask him about if he felt he was drugged and if it was a setup. He does feel some betrayal for sure. But he does want me to talk, and I will get to it about the perfect storm, kind of like what Leah was talking about and how they set that up. So it doesn't look so obvious, but all the pieces are there, and they know it's there, and they know you're primed and ready for what they're ready to do to you or want happen to you. That almost looks like at your own doing, but it's really not fully at your own doing. It's them doing things and intervening things in your life, and the people around you, putting people around you, certain people in your life to help this come forth, like with Michael and that doctor, Prince and his doctor, and other people around, Aaliyah, just different things like that. Um, Apparently, his last words that were on Instagram that got deleted was him saying, just when you thought you were safe. And I did try to ask him about that, and the feeling I get is that he knew there's a lot of cards here that come up about intuition and and yeah, like a lot of intuition. Like he knew his end was coming. But he did know he had choices. He was in a lot of pain. I get a lot of rights. I don't know if it was well. I think he had trouble with both his hips. But I think his right one was the one at the end of his days because I get a lot of pain when I start to days in advance. I start to try to pull in energy, get information, let him tell me what he wants to tell me, that kind of thing, and got a lot of right hip pain. So I think it was his right hip. But because he was now Jehovah Witness, he didn't want to go to surgery. He needed a lot of blood after a hip surgery. and he didn't want that, which again, it's a little bit of this perfect storm. They knew that. They knew, and what do? You can't sit there in pain with your hip. You have to take medication. So you started taking pain meds. Well, you can't live on pain meds. It goes up and up and up. You get more addictive to it. And funny enough, too, I remember having a dream right before his death. I had a dream when Michael, I had a dream a lot of these people died, actually. I shouldn't even, it's not just a couple, most of them. Most people I'm going to read on, I'll give you at that time the dream I had about them. But Prince, on his death, before his death, about a day or two before, I remember dreaming, or maybe on the day. No, I think it was a day or so before. But I just remember dreaming him on a stretcher, and I saw these demon things, little demon things dancing around him. And I thought that was weird because everyone knew him to be kind of to basically be drug free, type of performer, person, kind of healthy and a vegan. And actually, I gotta write that down too. He wants me to speak about that vegan thing. Um, and he, yeah, and usually that is a sign to me about someone who's drug addicted, or has demons, like, but usually drug or alcohol addiction, that kind of thing. Their demons took them down, which usually is some kind of earthly demon like drugs or something like that. So I thought that was very weird that I saw that before his death, and then he died April 21st. I should say here too, he's 57 when he died. He was born June 7th, 1958. He was a Gemini, air sign. In Minneapolis, he was born, and he died April 21st, 2016. I consider it the worst day of my life because I was a big Prince fan, and I still, I feel his loss. I hate, but that will not play into my reading. But I feel really terrible loss that we lost him from this world. But okay, so yeah, I saw those demons dancing around his bed, and so I thought that was very weird. And then he died. And I remember reflecting, why did I see those demons? Because that was weird. He never took drugs. He never took alcohol. Why? Because, and then came out what, months later, a couple months later. I think in June, the autopsy came back and it did show that he had these drugs. So then it was like, wow, okay, so it was right. But still shocking because no one thought he was taking any medication like that. So that was shocking, but I did dream about his death, and not actually Vanity too, who I have back there, right here, my Vanity doll. There's my Prince doll. I made that, and then my Vanity doll is back there too, which I'll pull forward when I do her. But I dreamt her too. Same thing, demons around her, and I saw her passing too, and other stuff. But we'll get into that when I do a reading on her. But anyhow, so um, So basically, yeah, so that was very weird. I didn't know he's on drugs, but that did come out. So he does have regrets. He has a lot of regrets regarding, in the poll here I have, I'm reading, looking in front of me, he talks about feeling like he was out of control. He wish he had more control. Cause he's used to being in control. He pulled some cards here that he's used to being, manifesting his own reality and being able to being really in control, like especially with his work. He pulled this card came up, the Knight of Pentacles. It talks about a person who's a hard worker, and then the Magician card had come up too with that. And that's how he used to be and how he normally is. So he felt so um, upset and bothered that he let that kind of slip by. He is mourning his loss of his life. He is not happy about that. It was senseless. He felt he let himself get like confused, unclear thinking, because he was taking all that pain medication, and he did feel betrayal too. Like these are the cards that came up around his death. He felt this in reverse. Like he felt, normally he's like intuitive, and he kind of felt like he was gonna die. Intuition cards came up a lot, but he was weak. He felt confused. He felt um, not clear thinking. Um, what's this one here? Two of Cups in reverse. He was, you know, um, He felt too a lot about him, having he felt musically he was having troubles. He was a little bit having struggling there, and he did say like he had two roads he could pick, and in some ways he felt like not that he picked that he wanted to die, or he kind of felt like he was being betrayed, or the drugs and all that kind of thing was kind of set up, but that he still had choices in it. But he kind of felt like wasn't sure about his life. He was kind of like, he was kind of like tired of it all. Like, what is the point? He was starting to get kind of tired of this place. Basically, is what he was saying. But that this also came up in reverse. The hardworking card, the Eight of Pentacles, and talks about he was a perfectionist, and that was his downfall too. Because 'cause he's a perfectionist, and then he was taking these medications, and he just wasn't right. Um, and then these came up. A lot of pain and sorrow. He felt betrayed. This is betrayal. He definitely felt betrayed. Now, who betrayed him? I think he does feel it's not just, who knows who got the doctor into his life. A lot of times you do put doctors and certain people in people's life to help them become addicted and help them, give them bad dosage and give them all the drugs they want. But I think someone in the music industry, I think, I'm not going to say a specific name of an artist, but I think when he said basically just when you thought you were safe, is that he felt like, okay, I finally got my catalog. I own it back. Everything's good. But they don't forget, is what he's saying. They do not forget. And even if you think, okay, it's done, they're over it, we're all friends again in a way. I got back my catalog, I got what I wanted, and it's all about money. And they don't forget. And even when you think things are settled and everyone's moved on and everyone's happy and everyone's got no, they want the catalog. They want the money. They figure they made you, and that, you're not just gonna walk away and be your own person. And so when he says just when you thought things were safe, it has to do with that. That no, they make the perfect storm so that guess what, you're s- you know you won't be around soon enough, and we will get back our catalog. We'll get back owning stuff. Apparently, his family. Three of them are dead. I think six people were given his estate eventually. Three of them passed away. And I think before they did, they basically sold off his estate. And funny enough, I had one of these little trolls, I call them handler, minions for the handler. One time say to me a couple of years ago about that. When I was up in the Santa Barbara area. She says, one of those religious people, call them MAGA. We'll just go like that. Anyhow, she says, "Oh, well, they had his estate, but guess what? They sold it. Basically, they sold it to the highest bidder. So that's the kind of mentality, and that's the kind of people that they have around doing these kind of things, and trying to backstab and get back what they think is rightfully theirs, basically. So yeah, he did sell. They did sell off. Three family members did sell back a lot of this stuff to these people, and I think three of them still have partial, like I think 90% at least ownership and some of it, but good part of it was sold back to these. Basically, I call them handlers. That basically the reason why he says just when you thought you were safe, that's who's got it back. In my opinion. Um. So what else came up? Also, this card came up a lot of conflict and fighting and battling, even defeat. He was having a lot of creative issues at the end too. He kind of wanted just to almost come out of music, not come out of music, but just take a break. He was having trouble creatively. He didn't feel things were landing his music like he used to, like he wanted to, and he just was not happy. He did go back, obviously, living a lot of time in Minnesota. So he was happy nostalgically, being back in the homeland. This card came up too. This is like, yeah, not giving, no longer getting the cup. Like, um, what did you tell me about this card? You told me something. But this card is again a card about intuition, and he just felt like he did jump into a lot of stuff foolishly. Again, another intuition. So many intuition cards come up. He knew he was coming near the end, even though he did feel he kind of had a choice. I guess the choice was trying to get clean and away from the drugs. But he did feel that he was being set up. He was being betrayed. He was now addicted to drugs. They knew it. They had him in where they wanted him, and he felt like the end was coming, but he just could not control himself. He could not stop the addiction. And here's the card he gave too. He feels great loss. They quite a few of them. Look at Leah, I just did. Felt like she wished she still had her life. He still does wish he made different decisions and was clearer thinking, and he didn't go the way he did. It is a gift, to be here, even though it is tough, Um, and he felt like he wished he would have made different decisions on that. Um, what else? He did want me to talk about, so I did meet Prince one time. There's a lot of stories. I have so many stories. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, I would say I was a big, like I said, big Prince um fan. I did meet him one time. It was around what is it? It was before 2010, so maybe about 2003 or four, maybe. Yeah, I went to a concert he went to. I paid big money. It was right up front. Then he had an after party thing there, and he told people it can go there, but weren't letting everyone in. I managed to get in, only of like 300 people. And I remember we locked eyes at that point. It's like, I'm called the reader. I read people. And I remember at that time, we had to wait a long time for him to be on stage, first of all. And I remember feeling like, are they watching us? And this is before I even knew. It wasn't until like 2017 that I found out what was going on with different things. So this is pre me figuring out all these stuff that people follow people and all these different stuff that goes on. Um, but I remember back then when I was at this pre-concert, felt like, why is he taking so long to come out? It was like an hour or two, like it was, and now we're in the wee hours of the night. We're at like 3, 4 in the morning, and he's still not out at this after party to do a little bit more performing for the people there. And it was almost like, are they watching the crowd? I think this is all this dark Hollywood, this dark music industry. I think they prey on people, and even though it wasn't specifically him, kind of like I said, we locked eyes, it's almost like the way his look was almost like, why are you here? Like, you know, like I was by myself too. It's almost like, don't you know what goes on here? Don't you know what, um, you know, he wasn't, you can tell he wasn't part of what goes on, but it was almost like, why, why are you here? It was very weird, but he ended up coming out playing for a very short time after all that waiting. And I never drank there or anything at that time at that after party. And I ended up leaving. So thank God, everything was fine and I ended up leaving. But it was a very weird stare and look. But with that story too, in Minneapolis, in Minnesota, one time me and my mom in 2006 went to the Shooting Star Casino near Minneapolis. It was in Menominee, Minnesota. But the casino is on a reserve, those casinos on the Indian Reserve. It was called Shooting Star Casino, and we were playing. Me and my mom love casino. We'd go to casino. We like going to the music, doing different stuff. We'd have drinks. A little kind of a girls' night out. Me and my mom, and this is what 18 years ago, like 2006. So, um, and then I am like, oh, we can't have drinks because it's on the reserve. Won't we see where we can go get a couple drinks, at the casino? So the people at the casino, we go, oh, we're here in Minnesota. Can we go have drinks here in Minoman? They're like, oh, there's a little bar, a cute little bar thing up the street. You can go there and have drinks. So we drive down there, just, like 5 minutes from the reserve, the casino thing. And right when we go in, this youngish, well, everyone was youngish then. It's 18 years ago, but I mean, a bouncer guy. He maybe was 25, 27. Kind of hefty guy. He kind of reminded me of one of those guys from that Pawn Stars, that young boss guy or Haas or what do you call him. That's what you remind me of. So it's fine, cool. We go in there. And this bar is like a little quaint little bar, like just cute little, like typical lounge bar thing. Not very big, big enough, but not huge. Just a little quaint little country kind of bar thing. But right away we get seated, and I remember when we like music and all that. Here we are in Minnesota, and right away I see this singer leaving, and she had like this, almost like something like this shot thing, but it was white. And right before she came out the door, because we're sitting at these tables here, and she's on the other side of the bar. Right before she comes out, remember her stopping and looking dead at me. And again, because I'm the reader, I just remember her thoughts were like, she wanted to get out of there. Good luck to you guys. Like she was almost like a dread. The feeling I got was, and the way she stopped and looked over at us, I remember thinking, and I didn't know anything. I'm just like, okay. But and I never said anything to my mom either, but I just remember her looking and kind of like, oh, I'm getting out of here. And kind of dread. But I almost, at the time, because I didn't know any better at the time and innocent, thinking, oh, maybe she just, they kind of know new people in town, and I don't know, but I remember her look, and the feeling I got was like, she's out of there. She was done her set on stage. She was this like mixed looking. She's like a prince somewhere. She could have been like a prince backup singer, that kind of thing. Um, but she was with someone else, and she just like, she's out of here. She's not gonna be involved in whatever. So, okay, I thought, okay, that was weird. So me and my mom there, we ordered drinks, da da da, we're at this table. And then the bartender, this type thing had this kind of center bar area. There's this blonde bar guy, and he was talking to someone, and he was talking to someone, he was facing me, kind of, but he was talking to this person when I sat down. And then I remember he just kept looking up, like kept watching us, kept watching me. And it wasn't kind of like I was thinking, oh, he's no, not like any kind of date. No, I was like, that's weird. Why is he talking to that guy and keeps looking at me? Like it was very unusual. I thought, well, that's weird. That's so that was like two. Like that was back in the Oprah days, when they used to talk about red flags. Where he had two red flags. I'm like, that's kind of weird. First, that singer is kind of looking at me, kind of like, oh boy, good luck. And then this bartender is supposed to be talking to this guy, but he keeps looking over at us at this table. So again, it's not like the bar was empty. So I thought, okay, well that's different. Okay, so then we get our drinks and we're drinking it, and I'm used to drinking vodka and 7 Up. I take a sip or two, and actually I've bought like moonshine from Minnesota before years ago when I was like 18. Like even though drinking there is 21. But anyhow, so I remember taking a couple sips of that drink that I got, and right away feeling dizzy. The room's dizzy. I'm just feeling kind of funny. My mom had ordered like a rum and coke. She drank her drink. She's drinking it, and I'm just watching her now. Now I'm getting really. I didn't say anything to her about any of these two things I've already noticed. That was very weird. But now I'm just like, I stopped drinking. I thought, well, this is weird. Why is this drink making me feel so weird and dizzy? And I barely had a sip or two. So then I stopped drinking it, because now I'm getting like third flag. I'm like, this is weird. And well, and so I just watched her drink her drink. She's like, "Oh, you're not drinking?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna wait and see." And then she finishes her drink, and I'm like, oh, well, now I gotta drive anyhow. Maybe I won't drink it if you want. So now I wanted to see how she felt. Was it just me, or what's going on here? So if you want, you can have the drink or have a sip or so before we go. So so I was waiting for a reaction. She takes a sip of my drink. Right away, she's like, "Ooh, wow, your drink, they made that strong. That's a interesting drink. That's strong." So right away, I was like, "Okay, that's it." This, and the guy, that bartender, was still looking over at me every minute. He'd be speaking to that whoever it was, that guy, and every minute, like looking over, almost like he's waiting to see what happens or waiting to for something. I thought, "Oh my God!" So now I'm in full panic. Now I'm like, "Okay, mom," I said. Okay, just slowly, just push the drink away, act all calm and normal. We're just gonna casually get up and leave the bar. And she said, "Why? What's going on?" I said, "I can tell you right now. Okay, let's not even go there right now. Just casually push the drink away. We're gonna get up and we're gonna leave." And that's what we did. My heart was pounding. I thought, oh my God, this big bouncer guy that I saw when we came in is going to shut these little doors in this little cubbyhole bar. And that's going to be the end of us. Well, obviously, my drink was spiked with something. I thought, oh my. So we slowly left, and I was trying to be normal. Yeah, have a good day, Mr. Bouncer guy, kind of thing. And we made it out. And when we got right to the parking lot, I said, Mom, let's run. And we ran. I ran to the car. And when I got in there, and drove off and started telling her everything that went on, the singer, the look I got, and the weirdness, and what I read from her, and then what happened with the bartender, and what was going on there, and how the weird looks, and what I felt from him, and then what happened with the drink, and how then her reaction when she took a sip of my drink. I thought, so that was just so weird, but he wanted me to bring that up because that's the perfect storm. It also shows how even back then, you know, there's a lot of drugs and people were spiking drugs and doing all sorts of weird drug stuff. So, you know, um, and really, when I look back now and what I know now since 2017 about me being followed, me being different stuff going on, that I don't think it was a coincidence that that happened. I think that was actually a planned thing that they were hoping would end up different. But thank God I'm intuitive. Thank God I'm psychic. Thank God I right away thought, oh no, I'm not drinking this drink. Too many red flags. I read that girl clear as a bell right when I came in, that singer. Mm-mm. So thank goodness for that. So, okay, so what else? So with Prince, he did want me to talk about, or I'm gonna ask him some yes no questions, a few of them regarding dark Hollywood, maybe Diddy and them or the music industry. But he definitely wanted me to mention, like I said earlier in this tape, about being vegan. Now he wanted me to mention that, okay, he was vegan because he was an animal lover. Now he's saying that basically a lot of these people in Hollywood pretend to be animal lovers, and with PETA and affiliated with that group. That group's no good. Also, allegedly, we'll go with that. But basically, they're full of it. He said that HSI will and does have tapes of a lot of these Hollywood people that say they're animal lovers and yada yada yada. Many of them were at this Diddy freak off and these different parties that say they're animal lovers and have their little dogs or big dogs or whatever. And meanwhile, they watched. He's telling me they watched, and there's on video um, the essay of these young people and adults, men and women, not only um, just being essayed, but also he said the Homeland Security has videotapes of animals with these people having sexual um well, YouTube, with these minors and also with adults and both men and women. He says the Homeland Security has the tapes of that, and it will come out during the Diddy trials and the different trials. Um, he said a lot of people that even watched that happening with these animals are big um, outwardly animal lovers, supposedly, and all this kind of thing. And he says no. He said they watch that stuff happen. They're full of it. They're this is this dark Hollywood stuff and their lies. It's almost like a gaslighting. It's almost like for them to that way they they can gaslight the public basically and act like, oh yeah, I love animals, I'm an animal lover, and maybe in some ways they are, I guess. I don't know, but and affiliated with PETA and all this baloney, but yet they didn't mind watching this happening at these parties with minors and adults, men and women with these animals. So this beastiality stuff, he said, Homeland Security has tapes of it, and it will come out in these trials, is what he told me. Um, so with that, I guess we will go into now some of the yes no questions. Okay, first question I have for Prince. Are you happy about all the this Diddy stuff coming out and all the stuff about dark Hollywood and the music industry and their deviant behavior? Are you happy it's finally getting exposed? Are you happy about that? That all this stuff is finally getting exposed? And you talked a bit about it, as much as you could. Couldn't say too much, I'm sure. Are you happy it's being exposed? All this deviant behavior by the music. Let's take what's on top here. Yes. So yes or no? Yes. Right here. We have yes. Okay. um, are you happy that Cat Williams kind of came first with exposing it last year? Your friend Cat Williams. Are you happy that he exposed it last year? We have yes. Great. And we're right there. Yes. All right. He's happy that Cat Williams exposed it last year. His good friend. Um, do you think Diddy will remain in jail after his trial in May? Do you think Diddy will remain in jail after his trial in May? Yes. He put yes right there. All right. And do you feel Jay-Z or you might know, I mean, feel you're in the realm that you should know. You feel Jay-Z will go to jail surrounding this whole stuff and things he's done. You feel Jay-Z will go to jail. Oh, foot out here. What do we got here? A maybe. And this was no. Let's try it again. Jay-Z seems to be getting no sometimes regarding that. What about we must have a damn good lawyer. Or maybe there's not enough evidence. What do we got now? Okay, the question was, do you feel Jay-Z will go to jail? He did put yes. I think Jay-Z's gonna go free for a while though. Like he'll get away. It seems like he has good lawyers and gotta make sure the evidence is good because he seemed to be able to skirt it. Let's flip it over here. Another yes card. So and this card that flipped over was hmm kind of hard work really. Maybe they'll, maybe he's just saying it's gonna take some work to get Jay-Z behind bars. That's like I was saying, but he'll get eventually get there. How about Beyonce? Do you think she's gonna end up in jail for anything regarding this stuff? Did anything flip? No. Beyonce, oh, there's something. Again, the same card. And it's yes again. Beyonce comes out yes quicker than Jay-Z does. It's so funny that my last reading with her I did there, same thing. So yes, regarding Beyonce. Remember I was in shock when I was like, what did she do? What? So it's funny. Beyonce always flips out quickly. Yes, that she will. Okay, how about do you feel others in the industry with this whole Homeland Security investigation? Will there be several others in the industry going to jail with what HSC is uh, investigating? Here's something we have. Yes, again. All right, so others will be going to jail too. Um, do you think we will be shocked about other information, new information that will come out, and or other people involved? Do you think we will get some shockers this year about some stuff regarding this whole industry and dark, deviant behavior? Do you think we'll get some shockers coming out? Yes, again. Yep, there'll be some shocking information coming out. Okay, what else? Do you feel your death was planned, or what we call like the dark Hollywood coordinated perfect storm? Do you think your death was part of their plan, basically? Putting handlers around you, your doctor, your pain doctor, the drugs, and everyone else. You think your death was planned, coordinated for you to overdose on the fentanyl? You think you're missing something now that you're on the other side? Do you feel your death was planned by these deviant Hollywood people? Prince, do you feel your... Oh, there we go. It's on top. Maybe. I think that came out before too. For that question. It's a strong maybe. Not sure. And I know he takes responsibility for, um, taking the drugs and not thinking clearly. Almost like Aaliyah too. But kind of, I wish I was clearer thinking. I wish I would have taken more control. So he does definitely take responsibility and blame for not, putting himself in that position and not, being able to think clearly at that moment. And so he definitely takes responsibility partially for his passing. Do you think being a Jehovah Witness played a big part in your passing? Do you think being a Jehovah Witness and then not being able to have surgery and taking pain meds instead, you think being the religion you chose to go into played a big part, being Jehovah Witness played a big part in your passing? I think being Jehovah Witness played a big part in your passing. I think being Jehovah Witness played a big part in your passing. And we take responsibility for the drugs, but you could have surgery and feel guilty. Or if you ask me, cult mind with that Jehovah Witness. Do you feel Jehovah Witness played a part in your passing? Being a Jehovah Witness, becoming a Jehovah Witness, do you think played a part in your passing? There we go. We got one. Yes. Well, of course, the sun's going down. Yeah. Yes. He does thank Jehovah Witness. Can you see that? There. You see that? So yes. Do you think Jehovah Witness played a part in his passing? He says yes. You wish you would have just had surgery for your hip pain, not taking all those drugs. You wish you would have just had surgery for your hip pain. You wish you just would have had surgery for your hip pain, not bother with the drugs. Or Of course, the drugs kill you, so I'm sure that's a yes. But do you wish you would have just had surgery for your hip pain? Funny. Do you wish you would have had surgery for your hip pain? Would have saved maybe your life. Switch over here. So, do you wish you would have just had surgery for your hip, not taking all, relying on drugs? I wish you would have just had the surgery for your hip. I think it was your right hip. I keep getting right hip pain around this whole thing. I think you had the other one before, but anyhow, I definitely get right hip pain. Okay, sorry, that here. Yes, he does wish he would just had surgery for his hip, not taking all that drugs. Okay. What else? We'll pull some cards and just get some final messages from you. Let's see, I think of another yes and no question. I think. Okay, two more questions and then we'll get your final thoughts with a few card pulls there. My big eye dream cards that I like. Okay, so are you happy about your estate? How it was divided among your half siblings and siblings full, and what they eventually end up doing with it? Are you happy about how your estate was divided? So that kind of came out. This card we got here. No. And again, a betrayal card came out. Backstab, betrayal. I don't think he's happy about them selling off all that stuff, especially back to those handler type people and the ones that own it. Oh, another one flipped out. This one's yes. I think that's what he's saying. Basically, he's not happy about that. That's correct. Are you bothered that they ended up selling it back to basically the industry people? Are you bothered that they ended up, some of them ended up selling it back to the industry people? Are you bothered that some of them, oh, there we go. What's that? Yes. Again, it's getting dark out and I can't see now. Yep, yes. He is bothered. That's what I thought. He's bothered that some of the siblings ended up selling it back to some of the industry people, in his opinion. Yeah, that's what I thought. Um, are you happy that Paisley Park is open up to tourists like a Graceland basically now? Are you happy that your home, Paisley Park, is opened up? What's the foot over there? That's like a yes. Yep, he's happy about that. Looks that tourists can go in there and see, pay, know, everyone's got good thoughts on Prince. I want to go down there. I would like to go down there. All right, that's good. I think now we're gonna pull some cards to wrap this up. Give you Prince a chance to give out any final messages, anything else you want to tell people watching this, anyone out there. I'm using these big eye dream cards. Let's pull what pops out. Let me see how many pop out. Let's see what comes out. What do you want to tell us before we go here, Prince? Mhm. Good reading. He's quite talkative. I wasn't sure. Okay, you can be quiet because he promised he'd be open. He told me he's not as rigid, I guess, as he used to be. I think in some ways he wish he wasn't as rigid. Like you said, a perfectionist in life. It was kind of a bit of a downfall for him in some ways. But near the end, he did feel betrayal by some people around him. So he did say that a few times. Okay. What would you like to tell people? Anything you want to say? Okay, there's someone flying out. Let's take a look. Okay, I'm gonna take these. We'll just leave them out for now. We got the Ten of Cups that came in reverse, and we got the Page of Cups that came upright. So we'll take those. I'll probably read them all after. I need some light in here. Actually, let me put the light on because I can't see. Okay, I hope that's a bit better. Put the light on. Look at that kind of weird rainbow glow over those stuff there. Um, I hope you guys like the setup. My prints and that. Isn't that cool? I made that Prince doll with, and I got the guitar and that. And then this is the card, the Oracle card of him. But yeah. Okay, so the Ten of Cups, he's saying that's a card of like love, true love. I think he's talking about how he's feeling now. Harmony, feeling it, because then he also got the Page of Cups, like um kind of celebration, or just a card of like goodwill. Is what I'm getting, like a goodwill to people. Maybe some messages around you know, this world is falling apart. Like you had a lot to say when you're here, and you saw a lot of this coming, including stuff going on in Hollywood. That whole thing needs to be dismantled, the whole mafia Hollywood. But anything around that kind of stuff, offering love and goodwill basically to humanity, basically people, fans, anything else about positive or negative about this world. What you used to tell us, is it true? Like anything, anything like that. You want to leave us with those chemtrails, Elon Muskrat, and the Starlink stalking program. Anything? Okay, the Seven of Cups with that on top. Um, it's a card of addiction, confusion, escapism. Well, it looks like this sounds like a psychic person. He pulls so many cards on psychic and intuition. Maybe he's telling me to follow my intuition or something. Like he pulls so many cards on intuition and psychic and knowing. And underneath it was a justice card actually. Justice and the Five of Pentacles underneath it. Hmm. Okay, what else? Keep going. See what else comes up. Any other? We're almost done. A few more. So maybe there's nothing more he wants to say. I mean, he did tell me a lot of things. What jumped out there? Two of them on the top here, or whatever, is a high priestess. Again, he's pulled so many high priestess, so many magicians, so many that got Queen of Cups, which is again about intuition and psychic knowing. So many. Um, divine knowledge, mystery, wisdom. Huh. He's just talking. The Two of Pentacles came out with it. Um, this juggling your money, juggling your finances. Hmm. Okay, let's see what else we get. Anything else? He's just talking about him and, it's on the other side. There's a lot of cards about that kind of, you know, psychic thinking, or maybe, maybe that's what he's saying. Okay, you remember he used to give us warnings all the time about things going on and to beware of this and that. And he keeps pulling the cards about intuition and being psychic and knowing. So he's basically saying he was right. All that stuff he used to tell people and warn people about. he was right. He keeps pulling a lot of cards about him being psychic and intuitive and knowing. That's what it is. He's saying that he knew, all his messages when you play back his old videos with him talking about chemtrails, him talking about, all his weird Hollywood stuff going on, and he did mention, back then about being a slave and how they control you, and that all was coming out. So, and Cat Williams exposed it, and that's his good friend. So basically saying, he told you so. That's right. There's nothing else. Yep. He's basically saying he told you so. That's what he was saying. Justice, and justice is coming. It's a good place to end. Now the justice came out again, and this is what's going to be the final act. Justice for all their deviant behavior. Wonderful. Well, thank you. That was a great reading with Prince. I enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And until next time, see you again. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share my videos so other people get it. I'm trying to spread this around, and I think other people enjoy my readings. And also, I sell on my eBay site this cream if you want to help with your own psychic development. And this cream you put on your third eye, and it's out for a very good price. I don't know, 7.99, 9.99 in this nice black tin, and it really helps open up your pineal gland gland there, your third eye. It helps clear it out and unblock it and help with your psychic development. Everyone's got psychic and can be more psychic if they want to be. So anyhow, I think that's it for today. Yeah, I think that's all. Have a good one, and I'll see you again in a few days.